to work if I ain't never had a job? I ain't never had a job in my life. So how would I work?
Our landlord just turned off our electricity. At Section 8, we were kicked from the program. Who the hell do I...
Regarding the first girl's inquiry, a prevalent viewpoint expressed online is that entry-level positions, such as those in fast food or retail, might serve as a springboard for obtaining work experience. In any case, I discovered some of the most bizarre benefit outrage on the internet today, and you won't want to miss the crazy final video.
Every single one of your basic needs should be taxpayer funded. Food, water, healthcare, shelter, clothing, electricity, transit, access to the internet. These are all basic needs that we are required to survive within this society, and as such it is society's responsibility to ensure that those are provided to its people. Full stop. End of story. Have a day.
You could just say that you were lazy, unskilled, and unable to take care of yourself, but sure, let's play this out. I go to work, it's payday, I come home, I look at my paycheck, and the government has taken almost all of my paycheck from me to put into this taxpayer fund to redistribute to the rest of society. Well, that sucks. Why should I be the one who has to labor when I could just stay home and the government's gonna take care of me? So I quit my job. Then everyone else starts quitting their jobs because the government's gonna take care of us, right? But oh shoot. Now we're having mass supply chain issues because we don't have enough production. So then the government starts assigning jobs because society's got to run, you know what I'm saying? So you get assigned a job, and if you don't do your assigned job, then you don't get your rations. Congratulations, now you're...
Therefore, it's likely that many people have encountered online discussions with wildly divergent opinions about how government help ought to function and what degree of support is suitable. As the second viewpoint indicates, some people are adamant about promoting independence via employment and self-sufficiency, while others place more emphasis on the role safety nets play in helping people through trying times. Because they touch on issues of duty, justice, and the proper organization of public systems, these discussions can turn contentious.
Keep on fucking with me, I'ma let him go. I got some, keep on fucking with me, I'ma let these two king courses go on your ass. Play with me if you want to, I'ma let them go. These king courses, the mini ones, y'all ain't seen these right here before. You can't get these in the store right here. I ordered these from Japan, baby.
It's unclear exactly who she is referring to, but generally speaking, since grocery store staff are only there to perform their jobs, they shouldn't be put in hostile situations or be the target of abuse. Naturally, the issue gets more serious if it involves theft or risky behavior, since it impacts both employees and other consumers. People place a high importance on safety and justice in public areas. Therefore, incidents like this often garner attention online.
Too many people sucking off the government. I've talked about this before. I work with Section 8, okay? I have tenants that fall behind throughout the year. And so we know around tax time, those tenants that are on Section 8 will file their taxes. And meanwhile, they're on SNAP benefits. They pretty much have reduced or free rent. And a lot of them are on Social Security because they're able to get like death benefits or this, that, or whatever, that's been perverse. It was supposed to be for retirement, and our politicians were like, here, let me buy your vote and we'll open it up to more population. And they don't contribute like financially or productivity, nothing. And at tax time, I know I need to reach out to them and say, hey, you've got this balance. I know you're filing your tax return, and they're going to get a f***ing rebate. They get money back after the federal government pretty much pays for a majority of their living expenses. And so we've got a whole bunch of people that are able-bodied, can work, choose not to, and are sucking off of the system.
It's unclear exactly who she is referring to, but generally speaking, since grocery store staff are only there to perform their jobs, they shouldn't be put in hostile situations or be the target of abuse. Naturally, the issue gets more serious if it involves theft or risky behavior, since it impacts both employees and other consumers. People place a high importance on safety and justice in public areas. Therefore, incidents like this often garner attention online.
We're getting evicted in 4 days, so we're going to chill and relax today. Because when we get evicted, we're going to be homeless again, and we're going to be doing a lot of work. So it's time to relax the muscles and chill and relax the brain, de-stress. We've been doing a lot of stressing because of what's coming down the pipeline. She's sick and not feeling well, and it's interesting because when we're homeless, we're not gonna be around anybody. So the chance of being sick is actually lower, even though it's cold. And that's the thing. We're gonna combat the cold very well. So we're not even gonna be cold. We're gonna have a tent in the tent with all this extra stuff. We made a video about that. So we're not even gonna be cold, and we're not even gonna be around people. So she's sick because she's around people. I just think it's interesting that getting an apartment, a hotel, anything like that, high chance of getting sick right now. And that interesting how being homeless, you can avoid sickness easier. But yeah, we're gonna chill and relax today.
That is undoubtedly one perspective, but there are sometimes many more unknowns than what is depicted in a brief clip. Individuals may be coping with various health concerns, obligations, or private situations that aren't captured on television. Because of this, there are sometimes conflicting responses to these situations on the internet. Viewers perceive what they see differently, particularly when it comes to concerns about employment, assistance, and financial security.
With us as we go evict our Section 8 tenant.
Alright, let's go, bitch.
Today we're heading to our first rental property after the recent eviction of our tenant. There are many pros and cons to having a Section 8 tenant, but the result of this one was extremely bad. After receiving multiple violations from our HOA, we had to take a look at the property and see what was actually wrong with it. And once we pulled up, it was devastating.
She was complaining of rats and all that kind of stuff, and clearly you can see why there were rats, because she didn't really care to actually throw the trash out. She threw the trash into the backyard. It's not a surprise that one would see rats.
In all of her time living there, she hadn't cut the grass once. Look how bad this lot looked compared to the rest of the community. It's no wonder we got many violations for this. So that brings us to today. We had the trash taken out, the grass cut, and we were just there to put a notice of abandonment on the property as our last attempt to communicate with this woman since she'd gone off the...
To be honest, I was surprised to see that lawn, and circumstances like these may be really annoying for all parties. Conflicts between landlords and renters can quickly become complex, and various viewers tend to focus on different aspects of the problem. While some sympathize with tenants and their living conditions, others highlight the financial and legal difficulties owners may have during drawn-out procedures. Because people interpret the scenario based on their own experiences and perspectives, videos like this frequently spark passionate reactions on the internet.
You can only get on Section 8 if you're a veteran or a disabled person. Now listen, I agree. If you are of sound mind and good health, you need to get up and figure it out just like the rest of us. Stop having kids so you can ride the wave. The government shouldn't have to help you. At the end of the day, we're all independent. We can get up and grind. Do it like I do it. What do you mean? Why not? We're sick of people just riding the government's wave. Oh, don't worry about it. I'ma just get housing, pay half of my rent, and then use these food stamps. If I need more, I'ma just pop out another baby. What? What happened to go get it out the mud? What happened to work hard for what you want? What happened to that type of thing? You should leave that for people who really need it. People who are missing organs. People who have, they mentally can't, you know what I'm saying? People who need this type of help. Y'all don't. Let's be honest, y'all don't.
Although opinions are obviously varied on the internet, a lot of people agree with the arguments she's making and believe that some of this should be common sense. These discussions frequently turn contentious because they deal with the structure, eligibility, and distribution of resources of aid programs. Because of this, they frequently elicit emotional reactions, particularly when people have differing opinions about access and justice.
The reason why I ain't got a job, because I ain't never had a job, and I don't know what it feels like to work. So how would I be able to cope with working if I ain't never had a job? How would I be able to work if I ain't never had a job? Like, I don't know how to work. I ain't never had a job in my life. So how would I work? I ain't never worked for minimum wage, so how would I work? I ain't never had a job in my life. I don't pay tax dollars, as y'all say it.
People's circumstances might vary over time based on chances and circumstances, and the lack of job experience does not guarantee that they won't work in the future. Viewers may interpret the situation differently based on what is displayed, particularly with regard to long-term planning, work expectations, and benefits. Because of this, videos like this frequently spark intense internet debate and reactions.
What? How y'all got an eviction?
What you mean, how?
Cause hold on, I just paid. How y'all got an eviction? I ain't got no notice or nothing. That's not correct. I only didn't pay my rent this month, and I got a paperwork that they supposed to be fixing my stuff, or Section 8 supposed to be letting me move. I do have that paperwork. This the only month I ain't paid it, because they supposed to be fixing stuff by the 26th.
Who's supposed to be fixing? Section 8 is paying.
Yeah, Section 8 pay my rent.
And so what happened for you to get behind?
I'm not behind. What they saying I owe? Because I don't owe nothing but this month. So
okay, but what I'm saying is what you ended up in court for some reason.
4 months ago.
Okay, you went to
but
court.
I've been paying it. I've been paying it. I no lie, I have been paying it. So I got want to get the paper? Because I got the paper. They got 26.
Let me explain this to you. Now, the only thing I can do is an eviction. I can't mediate the case. I can't.
So you saying I have to get out like right now?
Yeah, we're about to do it now.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. There's nothing I can do. I have this issued from the court.
What?
I'm gonna give you a copy of it.
It is crazy. I just had it fixed. That is crazy.
You can read it.
So what y'all gonna do? Kick my door in or come in anyway?
Yeah, that's why the locksmith is here. If you weren't here, if you don't open the door, we're gonna come in. And that's what it is. It's called forcible entry and detain the FPD.
Can y'all give me a second? Cause my kids in here. Oh my God! Like I was not warned of nothing. I was no warning. No warning.
So you didn't talk.
I don't pay.
When the last time you talked?
I paid my rent last month. I have not talked to them since then.
You didn't talk to them?
No, I just had inspection on the 25th of last month, and they had to the 22nd of this month to fix my stuff or I was gonna move. Like they are doing this on purpose because it's mold in the house. It's mold in here, and Section 8 was for them to fix this. Like I really want to call the police, like, cause this is absurd. Like
yeah, well you can call the police, but it's a civil matter, and the police they deal with criminal law.
Oh my God, this is
they don't
absurd.
deal with civil.
Like where I'm gonna put my stuff, I cannot put.
You don't have anybody you can call?
That's what I'm saying. Like, can you give me a second? Because this is crazy. Like,
okay. Now, what I normally do, I come in, I take pictures of everything in the house. After I get done with the pictures, then I bring the crew in. Now, he's going to go ahead and start working on a lock to change the locks out.
This crazy. Yeah, this is absurd. This is absurd. Like, literally. I'm not warned of nothing.
You gotta get somebody to warn. Yeah,
this is they can put my stuff out right now. Right now. Like, what?
How many people in the house?
My son's in there.
You need to get all your valuables together. Your cell phone, your charger, your keys.
Look, they just sent me a notification today. I only owe $421. This is today at 9:40.
I don't have anything to do with that, man. You could owe $1 million or $1. I have a writ from the court that says to put you out. And that's all I can do is what the court says.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning.
Depending on the circumstances and the facts at hand, court rulings may be contested or appealed. There are mechanisms in place in the majority of legal proceedings where cases are evaluated and material is presented by both parties. Because of this, results like this frequently spark internet debate, particularly when individuals are unaware of all the specifics of what transpired prior to or during the case.
Here we have a couple of homeless people who are no longer homeless technically because they were given free public housing. This is how they are responding to being taken off the street, rescued, you'd think, from this life of vagrancy.
I don't want to be in government housing. This is Isabella Towers, an apartment complex in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's just terrible.
And it's just too small.
But you could kind of make this nice, about the size of mine back home now. Come on, we gotta learn a little gratitude. This is a heater. I would prefer this personally to living on the street.
It's about the same, really.
It's really about the same because we would have more freedom out there, though.
We wouldn't care if we lost it today, though.
You wouldn't care?
Nah.
Got
That's
TV,
the only
AC, shower.
The only two things
locked door.
Yeah, we consider this still homeless.
I still believe. I want to live in a house
where I could actually go outside and do.
This video seems more complicated than anything else, and it might represent people who are obviously facing challenging situations, such as possible emotional or mental difficulties. However, depending on the spectator, these kinds of events are frequently received extremely differently, particularly with regard to expectations for appreciation, stability, and support networks. Because of this, videos like these typically elicit conflicting responses and more extensive internet discussion.
Our landlord just turned off our electricity. Okay, our landlord just turned off our electricity because we didn't pay rent. Section 8 has been paying our rent for over 10 years. A couple weeks ago, my landlord shows up to tell me that Section 8 is 3 months late on our rent and that we were kicked from the program. She tried telling us that we had 2 days to come up with the rent. Well, it's been a few weeks. We don't have the money, okay? We have zero income. Everything was taken from us. Food stamps, cash assistance, our disability, everything. They just shut off our freaking electricity. We have no lights. We have no running water. We can't cook. And we have 6 kids. 6 kids. This is not legal. You cannot turn somebody's electricity off because they didn't pay rent. Who the hell do I call? Because now we are without lights, without electricity, no running water, no toilet, no shower. This is not.
Rental agreements are fundamentally financial relationships with obligations on both sides. Regardless of your opinions about landlords and tenants, that long-term rent arrears usually result in financial strain that must be resolved through legal procedures, which can differ based on local laws and tenant rights. Because individuals tend to concentrate on opposing viewpoints, circumstances such as this frequently result in strong opinions on the internet.
That they're supposed to be doing away with Section 8. I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, it's about time. We got too many people that's taking advantage of the system. Too many people sitting around doing absolutely nothing. And guess what? We tired of it. Us working people are paying for you to sit around and do nothing. So while we out working 2 and 3 jobs, busting our chops and missing time away from our family, y'all at home chilling. Y'all up on the new Jordans, all the new clothes, all the new gadgets and gadgets, all the jewelry, all the bling, and all our hard-working money is going to food in the house and bills. We can't even spend that money on ourselves. More time at work than it is at home. It's not fair. It's time to get up, y'all. If you ain't disabled, if you have 2 working hands and 2 working feet, you gonna get up and you gonna get to work. It's the harsh reality.
As she points out, there are differing opinions on the internet on what people should do to support themselves and what is expected of them at work. While some argue that persons who are able to work should concentrate on getting a job, others note that conditions might differ significantly based on personal circumstances, opportunity, and health. Because of this, conversations like this frequently elicit emotional responses, particularly when they touch on issues of accountability, support networks, and justice. You won't want to miss this final clip, though, folks.
Hello everybody, Berkeley with Rental Household here. So I don't know if you guys know or if you've seen, but Trump is going to make Section 8 now a 2-year program, and he's giving everybody 30 to 90 days or 30 to 60 days. I think it's 30 to 90 to GTFO, basically. So buckle up.
On the internet, there are frequently strong opinions regarding Section 8 programs and the duration of support. While some stress that home stability depends on a variety of criteria, such as income, employment availability, and personal circumstances, others think there should be a set timeline for support. Because of this, conversations like this can lead to controversy, particularly when people disagree on how long-term support should function and what constitutes success in those circumstances.